Hello everyone, welcome to Selective Prep Mathematics. This is the solutions video for test number 2. Before we get started, I just want to emphasize that it's really important to watch these videos every week. Okay, there's not much point of just watching a few and then skipping, or taking the test and then not watching the video. Okay, because otherwise you don't know what you got wrong, and if you don't know what you got wrong, then there's not going to be any improvement. All right, so it's important that you watch these videos to make sure that you're able to improve both your math skills and both your math skills and also your skills or know-hows in an exam. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So just an overview before we start. So volume conversions is a slightly tricky topic, or one that we might want to know in this exam. Okay, so volume conversions is something that I found quite difficult, okay, because I tried to rote learn, which means just memorize without understanding, okay, whereas it's a lot easier if you try and remember the fundamentals, okay, and then just use logic, okay, to figure everything out. Okay, so the fundamentals are right here. Oops. So 1 centimeter cubed, okay, when we think about 1 centimeter cubed, it's 1 by 1 by 1. Okay, 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. You're multiplying the units together as well. That's how we get centimeter cubed. And 1 centimeter equals 1 milliliter. So those are 1 centimeter cubed equals 1 milliliter. So those are the two things you need to know. Now the rest follows. So 1 meter cubed is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. If you want to convert that into centimeters cubed, then it's going to be, so 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So it's going to be 100 times 100 times 100, which is 1,000,000 centimeters cubed. Now, 1 liter, okay, equals 1,000 milliliters. So that is going to be 1,000 centimeters cubed, okay? And 1 meter cubed, if you remember, is 1,000,000 centimeters cubed. So 1 liter is 1 over 1,000 meters cubed, because it's only 1,000 centimeters cubed. Now, simultaneous equations, so you may or may not have heard of this. So simultaneous equations is when we have two pronumerals, okay, or two unknowns in an equation, and we're given two equations with those two unknowns. So I'm going to show you an example here. So we have two unknowns and two equations, and what we want to do is we want to either eliminate one of the letters and have the entire equation in terms of just one letter. So in terms of all A instead of A and B, okay? Or you want to find the value of one letter in terms of the other letter and then substitute it into the other equation. So I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about now. So if we have A plus 2B equals 10 and 3A plus 5B equals 32, and I want to eliminate something, okay, I need to have two of the same term in each of these equations. So for example, A and 3A, okay, they're not the same. 2B and 5B, they're not the same. 10 and 32, well, we're not going to eliminate those anyway. We want to eliminate either A or B. So I need to manipulate the equation to make it the same. So for example, I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 3. I'm going to get 3A plus 6B equals 30. And now I have 3A in both equations. Okay, so this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. This is equation 1 now and 2. Okay, now I can subtract these equations from each other. So 3A minus 3A, okay, equals 0. 6B minus 5B is just B. And then 30 minus 32 equals minus 2. So I found that B equals minus 2. Okay, now I can sub this back into here. Okay, A minus 2 times minus 2, so A minus 4 equals 10. So A equals 14. Now another way I can do this is to find one letter in terms of the other letter. So let's just take the first equation, for example. So A plus 2B equals 10. So A equals 10 minus 2B. So I've just moved it over. Okay, so now I know what A is in terms of B. And instead of A in this other equation here, I can just substitute 10 minus 2B. So 3 instead of A. So instead of 3 times A, it's going to be 3 times 10 minus 2B plus 5B equals 32. Expand that, 30 minus 6B plus 5B equals 32. Okay, minus B equals 2. So B equals minus 2. And then you should get A equals 14 if you sub back in. Now, let's get into the question. So question 1 is not a fractions question. It should be a definitions question. So the term that describes the lines is not perpendicular. So perpendicular would be at 90 degrees. Parallel would be like this. Okay, skew lines, I'm not entirely sure what that is, to be honest. And intersecting lines is the correct answer because the two lines are intersecting each other, but they don't really have a special relationship. Tangential lines, okay, are not important at this point. You can only have them when you have at least one curve. So one curve and then a line that doesn't pass through it, but only touches it once, okay? Now, we have a snail that starts at a dot. Okay, the dot is here. We have a pentagon, so 5 sides. Let's say each side is 4. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So altogether, the perimeter is 20. And so if we're trying to get, well, if the snail crawls 13 out of 20 of the way, then it's going to be, so this is 4, 8, 12, and then 13 is going to be around here. So the snail will finish on side D. Now, basic arithmetic, this is just the working backwards question. So we're going to start with 14, and then if we have operation here, we're going to do the opposite. So if we have 14, subtract by 2, we're going to do plus 2. So we should have had 16 here. If we have squared the number, we're going to root the number. So we should get 4 here. If we have divide by 0.6, we're going to do times by 0.6. So 4 times 0.6 is going to be 2.4, and then multiply by 0.4, I'm going to divide by 0.4. That should give me 6, and then multiply by 0.5, divide by 0.5, or divide by half, or times by 2 should give you 12. Okay, so that is C. Now, Eric worked on a project for 1/4 of an hour, so 15 minutes. 1.5 hours, so 90 minutes, and 5/6 of an hour, so 50 minutes. So Monday plus Wednesday is 65 minutes versus 90 minutes on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, Eric has worked for 25 minutes longer. 5 minutes equals 1 on 12 hours. So 25 minutes equals 5 times that. So 5 on 12 hours. So part C. Question 5 is pretty easy. Okay, we're just adding up all the angles. So we have 2 4-sided shapes here. Okay, and the angle sum of any 4-sided shape or quadrilateral. Okay, angle sum of quadrilateral. A quadrilateral equals 360 degrees. We have 2 of those, so we should get 720 degrees as an answer. Now, Zara's group, okay, paints 18 windows in 90 minutes. Okay, how much would they paint in 3 hours? Remember, 90 minutes is 1.5 hours. So just double that, we should get 36 windows. We're using simultaneous equations here, so let's use the second one first, the second equation first. So circle equals 2 plus triangle. So we've moved the triangle over, and it's gone from minus to positive. Okay, now let's sub that back into the first equation. So triangle, and so instead of circle, it's going to be 2 plus triangle equals 10. So 2 triangle plus 2 equals 10. Move the 2 over. 2 triangle equals 8. Therefore, triangle equals 4. Question 8. So this is kind of you need to know your how many days are in a month. Okay, the easiest way to do that is to look at your knuckles. So I'm going to try and draw a very bad diagram of knuckles. So let's just say these are your knuckles. That's your thumb. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your thumb. This is your right hand. So left hand, right hand. So this is January, and then the gap is February, March, April, May, June, July. Okay, skip your thumb, and then go August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so anything that's in the gap is 30 days. Anything that's in on a knuckle is 31 days. And then February is obviously 29 days and 28 days on a gap year. Sorry, not on a gap year, on a leap year, okay, which is every 4 years. So, the last time you went was on Tuesday, the 20th of October. Okay, the next time you go would be the 27th of October, and so October has 31 days. So, the next time he goes would be +4 is the end of October, and then +3 would be the next week, so the 3rd of November. And the next time he should have gone should have been the 10th, okay, of November. So that would be the second Tuesday. So the second Tuesday on November is the 10th, but instead he goes on the Wednesday, so the day after, which will be the 11th. Now, question 9. A large bottle holds 2 liters, okay, or 2,000 mils of lemonade. The lemonade is poured into glasses that have a volume of 25 centimeters cubed, or 25. So remember, centimeters cubed equals 25 mils. Okay, 2,000 divided by 25. Okay, we can't do it. 25 goes into 20, so 25 goes into 200 8 times, and then 0 times. So our answer is 80. Last question. So we have Jane, Bill, Kelly. So Bill's pet lives in a bowl, so it's a goldfish. Kelly's pet doesn't have a beak, so it must be the dog. And then, Kelly's down here, so the dog. And then Jane's pet must be the budgie. Okay, the last one out, so part C. So the last thing we're going to go through are the key points. So you just should know that we went through an overview at the start of volume conversions and simultaneous equations. So volume conversions, don't memorize it without understanding. You just need to memorize the fundamentals, and then you can take it from there. And then simultaneous equations, we're either using elimination or substitution to find our unknown pronumerals. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. Good job, guys. I will see you